Hello, everyone. I am Brandy Crooks. I am here at my new home at Patriot Pacific, and I am so excited to be here in the studio with my most amazing friend, colleague, and top producer, Wendy Ciucki. How's it going, Wendy?
Thank
Hi.
you. Hi. Yeah, it was so weird because I after you finished that, I heard a little bit of an applause in the background, but I think that was just that was the background recording in my head that I hear, those voices.
All day long, you just walk around, people are cheering you on?
Yes.
I love it.
I'm very excited to be here with Brandy today. I've been working with Brandy as my primary lender for the past 5 years, and many of you who have bought homes with me have worked with her. So super honored today to be here at Patriot Pacific, and this studio is amazing. And I'm really excited to talk with Brandy today about whatever she wants to ask me.
Yeah. So I get to finally get you in the hot seat because you're usually the one putting others in the hot seat and asking people so many questions. I don't know if anyone's ever sat in open house with Wendy, you will know, or even just been in a room or at a restaurant or anywhere. When Wendy gets in front of people, she creates conversations that will go on forever. She will know what their brothers, cousins, dogs, sisters, uncle is doing. And she's genuinely interested in it. And I feel like that's one of the things that you're so great at is creating relationships and meeting people and connecting with people. That's actually how I connected with you. Like, you made me feel like the most important person in the room. And I just knew I needed to be friends with you. And now then we became friends, and then I got, now we get to work together, which is just like the coolest thing ever. But I'm so proud of you because so much has been going on. It's been a pretty interesting year in our market. We keep talking about this shifting market, and we're shifted. Right? I think we fully shifted, don't you think, at this point?
Yeah, I think there's maybe a little bit more to adjust, but I would say what hasn't adjusted yet are the people that have been reluctant to adjust. Mm-hmm. So for those of us that were not trying to paint the horse a different color the entire time, I don't think we are chasing the market down like people like to speak of. I think that people that have been consistently working have been knowledgeable about, well, what is this looking like 3 months from now? If I take a listing today, that's what I'm thinking about. I'm not thinking about what the market is right now. I'm thinking about what it's going to be in 3 months. That goes twofold for people that are considering buying, because I really want people to understand that right now is a great time to buy. And the reason why is because everyone else is not sure. So if you're the person that's sure, you're going to have an advantage over the time period that's going to come where everybody is sure and they're all looking again at the same time, because there was no change or shortage in people that needed housing. It was just a mindset that they had towards, is this the right time for me to do it or not?
Right. So that mindset and having that understanding is what has landed Wendy in the number one spot in your brokerage, being the top producing agent at your brokerage, which is not a small brokerage, by the way. It's a very large brokerage of almost 200, if not 200 agents. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah.
And not only that, there are some incredible agents at that brokerage. So to land that spot is no small feat. And I'm honored that I get to work with you and learn from you also. But what do you think it is about you and how you handle your business that has allowed you to be so consistent and continue to do the business that you do?
So for me, I've always been a full service agent. And I know a lot of people say, well, what does that mean? Does that mean you'll answer every phone call? Does that mean you'll, give people the right information? Like, what does that mean to you? For each agent, I think it means something different. For me, what it has meant is I always I've staged every property that I've ever had as a listing of my own. Even when the market was really busy and people said that wasn't necessary, I still did it because to me, that's my brand and it is who I am. And I can't see doing anything any other way. As far as buyers are concerned, when buyers come to me with a need or a want, I don't just look on the MLS. I seek out the neighborhoods that they can afford to buy that house in. And I do whatever it takes to find the property, door knocking, mailers, phone calls, whatever. Like, I will not stop until I find them what it is that they need. And then I think last but not least, I helped an investor this past year sell 2 properties and do 1031 exchange, which, as you know, is the smartest way to reinvest your money in real estate. And for those of you that aren't sure what a 1031 exchange is, it's where a person has equity in a property and just a certain amount of debt, and which would be considered the loan that they have on the property. And as long as they carry that over to the next property, they're allowed to use their equity to purchase the same price property or a higher price property that would require a larger loan for them. No loss by way of taxes, paying taxes.
Yeah, capital gains.
Yeah, I couldn't think of what the right wording was.
Yeah.
But and once I purchased the 2 new properties for them, I was able to also secure both renters in the properties. And so I did all the background stuff for that and put them all in there. I actually did that, free of charge for the investor. And why did I do that? Because it felt like the right thing to do. And I don't like to just be a part of the process. I want to be a part of the whole thing. So that way at the end of everything, they can say, Wendy did this full service. And that includes, moving in if they find bugs or rats or whatever the case may be. It's fully helping.
I'm out. I've already told them burn down the house.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah. It's fully helping until they are completely moved in. And then I release the responsibility to the property owner to collect the rent and all that kind of stuff. I'm not interested in property management. I'm actually friends. My next door neighbor has been doing property management for 20 years, I think. A wonderful Grapevine Property Management, if anybody's looking for a great company. But I sat and talked with her when this process began because I was toying around with the idea of doing it. And I discovered I don't want to deal with the money. I don't want to have to deal with that. But I do help people find renters, and I go through the process for that. And I actually do charge normally a percent of what the full year's rent is. So if anybody is looking, I can help place somebody for you. I just don't want to deal with collecting any of the monies. But yeah, it's been an interesting process, and I love learning new ways of doing things. Anything from buying and selling homes to now buying and selling property. Putting in renters, stuff like that. So I think diversifying yourself so that way you are able to stay busy in any market is the way to do it. And to not say no, to not, say I don't have experience with this, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, like you're open to reaching out to people who might know more than you, but then that's how you start to know how to handle that type of transaction because there's so many different types in real. How do you think, obviously in this shift of a market, it's affected a lot of people's mindset. Your morale can go down. It can be scary. It can be overwhelming. Even if you are familiar with the market, I think one of the most frustrating things is how important it is and how beneficial and what an opportunity is to buy right now. There's a lot of information that isn't accurate and is kind of fearful, which is very common. Headlines like to kind of stir up the fear in people, and then it makes people afraid. So how do you kind of maintain your focus and your mindset when you're trying to deal with people who are constantly coming back and responding with that it's just not a good time to buy?
So pretty much the way that I deal with people and the way I work with people is I just treat people as though they are family or that they were me and I was making the same decision that they're attempting to make. When the market was crazy and it was being pushed up above asking price and it required cash to do it, and people wanted to get into homes, they were going to do it. But I basically sat with them. If you tell me what it is that you're trying to achieve and what your plan is for your life and what your goals are, I will give you the advice that I would give, without giving it from a real estate agent's perspective. And I have clients often say to me, I just had one where we accepted a little under asking price. I think it was like $5,000. And she said to me, I want to ask you something. And this is not agent to client. I'm asking you friend to friend. Should I sell my property now or should I wait another year? What is your advice? And I'm like, sell now. Because if rates go up and continue to go up, the market will go down a little bit more. And not only that, no one has a crystal ball that's predictable for next year. If you were telling me 5 years or 10 years, my reply might be different. But if you're telling me just a year, I'm going to give you the advice based off of what it is that we're seeing. So, I'm not in sales. I'm in problem solving and helping.
Yeah,
And that's
I
all
love
I'm
that.
trying to do. Yeah.